for this project I'm going to use some green yarn for the stem, some red for the heart and some pink for the petals, but you can use whatever colour you have. I'm also going to use some stitch markers and darning needles to weave in the ends, and for hook size I'm going with 4mm and 4.5. To start, I'm going to make a slip knot with my pink yarn. To do that, I'm going to hold it like this, wrap it around my finger, bring it forward and hold, and then wrap the working end around and pull this over. That's a slip knot. And then I use my 4.5mm hook, and I'm going to chain 15. To chain, you have to wrap your yarn around the hook and pull through. You have to do that 15 times. And then from your second chain from the hook, you insert the hook, pull up a loop and pull through. That is a slip knot, and we're going to slip knot all the way back down to the first chain, so you would end up with 14 slip knots, and for easy counting I'm going to mark the first slip knot. So again, you put in your hook, pull up a loop and pull through. In the first chain, again, we're going to make a single crochet. So to do that, you insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. And mark at that single crochet. In the next stitch, we're also going to do another single crochet, and I'm going to start working over the tail end because it's just easier than weaving in at the end. So you insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. After doing 2 single crochets, we have to do a half double. So you yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop and then pull through all 3 loops. After a half double we have to do 2 doubles, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through, yarn over to pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then we have to make 4 treble crochets. To do that, we're going to yarn over twice, and then insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've made 2 trebles, and now we need to make 2 more. After doing 4 trebles, we're going to make 2 doubles again, because now we've increased the height and we need to decrease it again. So a double crochet, one more double, now a half double, and 2 single crochets. and it will look like this. To make sure you haven't missed out any of these stitches, you can count from your stitch marker to see if you've got 14. And now we're going to work into the slip stitch that we made, the first one. But because slip stitches are a bit tighter, I'm going to change my hook to down a size to my 4mm hook, and we just repeat the same pattern. After you've made your last single crochet, your work would look like this. So we're just going to slip stitch back into the first stitch like so, chain 1, and then you've got 1 petal. I have now finished crocheting the 6 petals, and I've left a longer tail on one of them because I'm going to use that to connect it all together. Now I'm going to make the heart, and to do that I'm going to use my 4mm crochet hook and my red yarn, and start with a magic ring. To do that you hold the yarn like this, wrap it round so that it makes an X on the back. Take your hook, put it under the first cross of the X, grab the second one to pull it out and twist up, and then go under this one and pull through. Now we're going to single crochet 4 times into the magic ring. So to do that you just put your hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And once again I'm going to mark my first stitch. 3 more, just hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I'm going to close the magic ring by pulling on the tail end here. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that has been marked. Chain 1, and we're going to increase into every stitch so that we'll end the round with 8 single crochets. So back into the stitch that you slip stitched in, single crochet twice in the same stitch, and then just going to mark the first one. So now I've got 8 single crochets. I'm going to slip stitch into the first one again. Single crochet 1, and for this round we're just going to single crochet 1 into every stitch. I'm just going to pull through and snip the yarn with a long tail. We need a longer tail because we're going to use that to connect the heart, and I'm just going to mark the last stitch with a red marker because it can get a bit confusing later, and the first stitch with a green marker. Now we're going to repeat round 1 to 3. I have now repeated round 1 to 3. And to start round 4, I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch, chain 1, I'm going to single crochet 6, after making your 6 single crochets, we're going to pick up our first part that we crocheted and single crochet into the first stitch of the round 3 to connect like so. I'm just going to mark this stitch in case I make a mistake and I need a point to undo it to. Okay, and now we're going to single crochet 5 more times in the next stitches. You can see that we have these stitches that need to be connected. To do that, I'm just going to pull up the yarn that I was working with so it doesn't get undone. Use the tail that we left from the first part and put it through my needle. The stitches that need to be connected are these ones, like this, so that once you're done, you're going to slip stitch back into the first stitch of that round. So everything in between needs to be connected. So I'm just to connect it, I'm just going to do a simple under and over. And to secure this, I'm just going to go under here. Any loop will do, or stitch. And make a knot. Now that I've sewn it all together, I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch. Chain 1. I've got quite a big gap here because my sewing skills are already not that good, so at the end I'll just sew that back up again. But I've just chained 1 and I'm going to single crochet. Another single crochet in the next stitch. Invisible decrease. So to do that, you put your hook into the front loop of the next stitch and the stitch after. Pull up the loop, then yarn over, pull through 2. We're just going to single crochet 4 now. So let me just take this out. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then we're going to decrease again, so front loop of the next 2 stitches. Pull up a yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And then to finish off, we're going to single crochet twice. Oops. Now we're back to slip stitching to start this round with a single crochet, and then we're going to decrease, and then single crochet 3 times. And then decrease again. And then single crochet twice. And then slip stitch here into the first stitch and chain 1. At this point, if you want to stuff the heart, you can do that, but I'm just going to carry on. We're on our last round and we're just going to decrease 4 times to the front loop. And then I'm going to pull up a yarn tail, fairly long, and trim, and to close up the hole going into the front loops of the last round. So there'll be 4 front loops that you go through. And you can just weave this in. I've got all my petals here and I've weaved in the ends on all of them, apart from the one where I've left the longer tail. So I've just threaded it onto a darning needle, and this is the front of the petal, that's the back, and the front of my petal is going to be the inside, so the flowers will be like this. Okay, so to attach them together, if you've got glue, you can just put some on the edge so that they'll be like that. I do not have any glue, so I'm just going to sew them with this. So to sew, I'm going to insert my darning needle into a stitch here, pull it through. I'm just going to go into the back loops. So I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, around 7 stitches. Obviously it's in the middle of these 2 and I need to attach the next one here. So to bring the yarn across, I'm just going to weave it through. So I'll get my next petal, line it up and attach. After joining all the petals together, I've got this. So now I need to join the heart into the middle. To do that, I'm just going to carry on using that same tail. I'm just going to pass through the stitch at the bottom of the heart. It doesn't matter what stitch, as long as the heart ends up in the right place. You should flip it over to see if it's sitting where you want it to, because if it's not, you can still fix it. You can find any stitch at the bottom of the flower to just put your hook through, attach the green yarn, oops, just pull it through, chain 1, and then you're just going to chain to as long as you want the stem to be. I've chained around 60 chains, and then I'm just going to make a loop with this, like here, just so that this loop is big enough for the flower to go through. Go to here, I just picked a random chain, and you just attach it with a single crochet, and then just do a quick test to see if your flower can fit through. So I'm just going to carry on, and I'm going to single crochet all the way back down to the top of the stem into every chain. Once you've single crocheted it to the top, you can just chain 1 and cut your yarn, and then you just have to weave in the ends. So I'm just going to weave it back into the stem.